Who's Bruce Cabot, you ask? Not a household name, but oh boy, does he pack a punch in Tinseltown history. Collaborating with John Wayne and carving his path in the golden era, Cabot's story is a roller coaster of fame and betrayal. Ever wondered why Errol Flynn hated him? The answers will leave you stunned. But wait, what's the secret recipe behind his Stardom mystery? Why didn't Bruce Cabot rise to Hollywood's summit despite his talent? Something was off, something was missing, and we're here to unveil the truth. Cabot's dark side emerged, turning him into a real-life villain. His life was a whirlwind of adventure, from tramp steamers to hauling bones on the prairies, and here's the twist you didn't see coming. He smuggled gold during the war, not for enemies, but to take a glittering advantage of Middle Eastern gold prices. Don't you dare click away, because this is a story that you won't believe unless you watch it all. When you are tall in the golden age of Hollywood, you can mostly be two things. You could be the bad guy or the muscle that saves the damsel in distress. In those two roles, actors didn't even need to talk. Just a few grunts here and there sufficed. Bruce Cabot was such an actor, but had an incredible career path and was an eager collaborator of one of Hollywood greats, John Wayne. He used to play villains. Bruce took his villainous antics too far when he betrayed one of his best friends. Why Errol Flynn hated Bruce Cabot. Bruce Cabot is a respected actor, but he isn't a big star. Don't get us wrong, he is a star, but when you mention the stars in his era, he'll not be at the top. Sure, he got credited in over 100 films, but he only featured in them. The actor never quite became a star. Sometimes we wonder why that is. He was good-looking and had a great height. He had a physique that screamed the leading man. Luck, maybe, or was it the height? He didn't have the heartthrob appearance of Tab Hunter to be famous among young women, but even Tab himself couldn't be the heartthrob for long before he got replaced. Maybe it was his height. Lex Barker indeed became typecast because of his height. The man became the perpetual Tarzan, and despite not wanting to be Tarzan anymore, he didn't have much choice because work wasn't coming otherwise. Lex became popular being Tarzan, but he wanted more, and his ambitions caused him to lose everything. The tall hunk clashed with Sol, the director of the last Tarzan film he acted in. Tarzan and the She-Devil wanted Barker's character to remain as is, and Barker had other ideas. He thought his character could be so much more. Out of spite, Sol ruined the film for Barker by cutting out his lines. But Lex's appeal as Tarzan outweighed Sol's devilish antics. The film was box office gold, and the actor stopped playing the role. Now, when Lex was done, no one wanted him. He was Tarzan and nothing more. Hollywood could be superficial, and no one was ready to try out the actor in other roles. It got so bad Barker had to leave Tinseltown for Europe. In Europe he had a greatest test in Italy and ended up being old Shatterhand, and like Tarzan, he had the role for years. Bruce didn't have it as bad as Lex, and also didn't have it as good as Lex. Bruce didn't need to leave Hollywood to have a career, and unlike Lex, who had a director clashing with him, Bruce had film producers propping him up. However, unlike Lex, Bruce never got to be the leading man for long. The actor should have taken more risks and given his career more agency. Maybe he liked playing the supporting man. Who knows? But honestly, something was fundamentally wrong with the man's career. It was propped up a lot by his friends, and we sometimes wonder what would have been if the man didn't have good friends in his corner who were willing to make sure he thrived as an actor, and the actor was grateful to his buddies. Well, for the most part. One of Bruce's friends lent him a hand, and the actor responded with the most devastating betrayals. Etienne Pellissier, Jacques Duboujac, was a mouthful that no Hollywood producer would allow an actor to have, so it was easier to give the actor Bruce Cabot. Reports even claim that it was David O. Selznick that gave the actor the name. Bruce was born on April 20th, 1904, in Carlsbad, New Mexico, to a popular local lawyer, Major Etienne de Pellissier Boujac Sr., and Julia Armandine Graves. The actor wouldn't know his mum, as she died shortly after giving birth to him. Bruce was far removed from the trappings of Hollywood, with his grandfather being a lawyer like his dad. His grandfather even had an excellent knowledge of mining. Cabot's father was a poster boy for American patriotism. After he left Cumberland School of Law near Nashville, Tennessee, he joined the U.S. Army during the Spanish-American War and the Philippine-American War. After his service, the actor's dad settled in Carlsbad and raised a family. With his family pedigree, Bruce and his parents would probably think he would become a lawyer and serve in the army. Bruce did only one of those things. The actor didn't study law. After graduating from Sewanee Military Academy, the actor went on to the University of the South in Sewanee, Tennessee. However, he wouldn't have a university education, unlike his dad and grandfather. The actor dropped out of school with one thing on his mind, acting. However, an acting career didn't fall on his lap. The actor had to do different jobs to get by. He worked on tramp steamers as a hauler of bleached bones of animals from prairies and sold newspapers. He also worked in real estate, sold cotton, and did some sailing work. But that's not all. This man sold cars, worked as a printing salesman, and worked at a slaughterhouse. Then the actor also went for a screen test but failed it. However, he never gave up. While working in a cafe, the actor was present at a Hollywood party and met the great David O. Selznick, the central producer of RKO at the time. The producer was convinced about the man and agreed to help him arrange a screen test, and it was a terrible performance. Bruce had an advantage as he was to choose the play he could use for the test. The actor chose the play Chicago, which he had watched several times, but when he got on stage he discovered that watching a play differed from acting. But for some reason David was convinced that the actor would be a great signing, so he put Bruce under a contract. The actor debuted with Heroes of the Flame and had an uncredited stint in Lady with a Past as a dancer. Then came Roadhouse Murder, where the actor got a supporting part. While Bruce was still grappling and trying to make sense of his career, his future great friend and helper was already bossing it. John Wayne had an excellent performance in Raoul Walsh's The Betrayal, after having previously been in 18 films before his sensational performance in The Betrayal. The actor auditioned for The Most Dangerous Game, which was about a hunter who hunts people for fun on an island. The audition was a bust, but just as he got to know Selznick, he knew Merian C. Cooper, with both ending up helping Bruce get the best film he ever acted in terms of box office. In Anne Vickers, the actor played a soldier who seduces a naive woman and impregnates her before going to war. All these films served as a build-up for the biggest film in Bruce's catalogue. Till his career ended, the actor didn't even get near the heights the film gave him. That film was King Kong, and did you know the actor almost missed the chance to star in it? Bruce was very self-conscious about himself, and he didn't delude himself of being a brilliant actor or anything of the sort. The man didn't even see himself as a leading man. He just wanted an acting career and didn't care if he would be front and centre in films. When the actor went to audition for King Kong, he didn't even think he was going to be the lead. He thought he would be the double for Joel McCrea. The actor was about to leave when two men saw him. David O. Selznick and Merian Cooper convinced the actor to stick around, but they weren't done. They also told him to audition for the role of Jack Driscoll, which was the lead role. They told Bruce to forget his inexperience and that all he needed to do was to stand in the right place and do exactly what the director told him. They promised him a rewarding paycheck if he could just do that. Bruce did exactly what they wanted him to do. He became Anne Darrow's love interest in the film and her knight in shining armour. Cooper and Selznick took a big risk by casting an inexperienced actor. They had committed to the film both artistically and financially that it would have made sense if they put all their hopes on a bankable name. Their risk paid off as RKO made millions from the film. Just like that, the actor became a star, but as he would soon discover, breaking out was the easy part. Sustaining the stardom was harder. The actor was able to sustain his newfound star power in another Merian Cooper film. Cooper cast Cabot in the film Flying Devils, with Ralph Bellamy playing the villain. Cabot played the leading man in this film, and it also became a modest box office hit. The 1930s were a kind period for the actor, as he had a great run. He got to star in 14 films, some of which he tested his acting skills in as a villain. However, at the end of the decade, things began to change for the actor. He auditioned for Stagecoach as the lead character, the Ringo Kid. Stagecoach would go on to be John Ford's masterpiece, but it wouldn't have Bruce in it. John Ford chose John Wayne for the role, and the Duke became one of the most bankable names in Hollywood history. However, the stagecoach disappointment wouldn't keep him down. The actor met another future best friend, Errol Flynn, and the two worked together on Michael Curtis's epic western Dodge City. The film became one of Warner Brothers' biggest hits. It wouldn't be the last time the actor would work with Errol, but Bruce wasn't always grateful to Errol. In fact, Cabot betrayed Flynn. With roles not coming regularly, the actor chose to get out of Hollywood and pursue patriotism just like his father did. He joined the army and enlisted in 1942 for the World War. Bruce went to Miami Beach's Officer Training School, where he became a first lieutenant in the U.S. Army Air Forces, then served as an Airport Transport Command Operations Officer at El Aouni, Tunis in the second half of 1943. Then he became a real-life villain. But looking at what happened, it seemed like the man didn't have much choice. L. Fletcher Prouty discovered something suspicious about Cabot. He accused the actor of smuggling gold found with the Germans in the war to Brazil. But it turned out Prouty was wrong. The actor wasn't smuggling German gold. No, he was not. Instead, reportedly, the actor, on the instructions of high-ranking Air Transport Command officers, transported gold to take advantage of the Middle Eastern gold prices. The actor's smuggling was discovered, and the army apprehended him in Cairo, but the military didn't dishonourably discharge him for some reason. Instead, they posted him to the remote desert outpost of Attar in Mauritania. There, the actor did odd jobs, and in 1944 got discharged. However, the call of Tinseltown was too much for him to resist, so he returned. The actor had become mainly an unknown. However, the actor found salvation when he met John Wayne on the set of Angel and the Bad Man. The two became friends, and Bruce became one of Wayne's regulars. The two also had a friendly relationship off the set, as they were drinking buddies. Bruce appeared in 10 more Wayne films, which lasted throughout the 60s and early 70s. Wayne's decision not to serve in the army worked out well, not only for him but for Cabot. Through Duke, Bruce continued to find relevance in an industry that had almost left him behind. This was what Duke feared when he made his decision not to join the United States World War II effort. The actor feared losing his standing in the industry if he left. He filed for an exemption, claiming he had mouths to feed and they might starve if he went to war. Other actors went. Gable was so keen to fight that he rejected the arrangement of working in the Army's motion picture unit and chose combat. Jimmy Stewart beefed up so he could meet the weight requirement. So Wayne had free rein to become the people's favourite, although some rumours said the actor didn't join the effort because of a woman. Reports claimed the Duke and Marlene Dietrich had a steamy affair, and Wayne didn't want to lose her. We doubt this report because Marlene herself was at the front and centre of the war, entertaining troops, smuggling displaced people, and possibly doing some spy work for the Office of Strategic Services. Wayne's only contribution to the war effort was war films, but that couldn't be classified as an effort as he got paid handsomely for those films. But Duke regretted not joining the war, and he should. How could he be portraying manly men and end up running away when it mattered? Remember when we mentioned that Bruce betrayed his friend? When roles dried up for Bruce, Errol Flynn approached him to star in the film he was producing, The Story of William Tell. Filming continued, but Errol's production partners hit financial difficulty, so the film had to pause. Flynn was in trouble, and he had no way of getting out of the mess. Errol owed the cast and crew money, and they took it in good stride except for one man, Bruce Cabot. In the middle of Errol's production mess and financial ruin, Cabot took Errol to court and wanted the court to seize and sell Errol's personal property so he could get paid. Flynn couldn't believe it. His friend, the man he wanted to help, had stabbed him in the back. Flynn never forgave Cabot and carried the hurt and dispute to his grave. Even in death, Cabot wouldn't honour Flynn, blaming the dead actor for how his life turned out. Cabot showed he had no problem betraying his friends when the opportunity arose. However, the man pursued love and had at it even if he couldn't sustain it throughout his lifetime. He was married 3 times. The first one was to Grace Mary Mather Smith, who he divorced before moving to Hollywood. Then he married actresses next and divorced them a few years into the marriage. The only thing the actor was deeply in love with was his job, which he worked until a year after his death. Bruce got diagnosed with lung cancer, killing him in 1972, aged 68. While he may have regrets, he still had a career and didn't allow Hollywood just to shove him away, as it had done for others. But don't worry, we've got more shocking Hollywood secrets and untold tales waiting just for you. So what are you waiting for? Start by watching this video right now. How was Pilar Pelé annihilated by John Wayne?